Hi there, YouTubers out there in YouTube land. My name is Dave, and this is an unboxing and review of setup of a Canvas Camp tent that I bought. It's called a Sibley 500 Ultimate ProTech. The first box I'm going to open up here is the one I got from Belgium. I ordered some extras with the tent just for the heck of it. So I sent that from Belgium by UPS, so that wasn't bad. It came in about 5 days, so I can't really complain about that. The other two packages I'll show you afterwards are the poles that came with the tent, and then the tent itself in a very large duffel bag. It weighs lots, but I'll get the specs for you here in a bit. We'll go through that later. First thing you see there, that's a stove jack. It lets you put the tent, or put the stove pipe for your exhaust out through the tent itself. Instead of being the square cloth ones you sew in, this thing's a metal bracket you put on. Those little bag in front that I just put down is 2 coat racks I bought for the tent, so you can hang your jackets and slide off the center pole. So I figured, what the heck, I need it. What I'm unwrapping now is a stove mat. So when your stove goes in the tent, you've got to have a mat down there to keep embers from burning a hole in your floor. So I bought their version. It's called a Frontier stove mat. That front circle is where the front leg goes, and then there's 2 legs at the back. So it's got 3, but mine's got 4. So I'll show you later how it looks. It's just a fireproof floor for embers coming out of your tent and stuff. So if you, have your stove going and, embers fall out while you're changing logs or whatever, it won't burn a hole through your floor or your tent, which would be a bad thing. The tent on it is bomber. I had a look at it already. You'll see it later on in the video here. It's totally sweet. This thing I'm opening up here now is a chandelier, because God knows you need to have a chandelier to make it romantic and elegant. Nah, the warden saw it, wanted it. She wants to go glamping. I'm like, yeah, no, it's just a tent for camping. Basically, it's a hot tent for winter camping. That's what I bought it for. So I'm opening up the chandelier thing now. They sent me 1 extra colored glass holder. You got me, I don't know why, but that's in the box behind there. It has the other 12 little, candle tea light holders in it. So I figured, what the heck? So we'll get the chandelier. They have double chandeliers and singles. I just bought basically the stove jack as an extra, the mat for the floor, the chandelier to put up to keep the warden happy, and then, the 2 coat racks to hang up jackets and stuff. But I'll do a later video showing you usability of the tent and how well it works and what's in it, all that kind of stuff, because this is just an unboxing video showing what came in the box the day I got it. So what you see is what I saw the very first time I saw it. So I'm, opening up all the bits and seeing what came in what box. I couldn't figure out why the one box came from UPS, the other 2 came from FedEx. Don't ask me why. It's kind of weird, but, who am I to argue? So that's after I opened up the first initial box from Canvas Camp. You'll see there the stove jack, the 2 coat racks, a little funky chandelier, and then you got my stove mat, which is the key one for the embers on the ground. So that's what I got in that first box. Very exciting. The next thing I got was a very long, skinny box. I'm going to go, let me guess, poles? So yeah, this is the poles that came with the tent from Canvas Camp. That came from FedEx on a separate order. I think it shipped out of the States. I'm not sure, but that's where it looks like it came from. So I said, all right, fair enough. So there, opening up the pole box. These are when I bought the model of tent. This is the Sibley 500 Ultimate ProTech. So it's 1 tent down from the top one they make. The only difference being this one hasn't got as heavy a fireproof treating coating on it that their top of the line tent has. So I mean, they go from 400 euros, 500 euros, 600 euros, all the way up. So the bag is nothing too hot. It's just a piece of plastic, roughly sewn, your typical tent pole bag. But what the heck? I can't complain. I opened it up, and what do I see? A funky wire thing. I found it later on. This is the repair kit, it looks like, for the shock corded poles, because all the poles I got, because I got the premium one, come shock corded. So it's got some wire cable inside of it together. The ties are just generic pieces of scrap canvas I have, which is standard across the world. I'm going to go out and get actual, some decent Fast-Tech buckles and fasteners to actually pull the poles together. I'll probably use them in that tent bag. Now I'll chuck that in the main canvas bag you'll see here in a bit. So I figured, what the heck. They just say scrap canvas or pieces of fabric, but, fair enough. I mean, first time opening up, this is what you get, so I can't really complain. The bag is just a generic plastic bag, nothing great, but what do you want? The poles that come in it, I didn't get all those wood square frame tents because it's got a pole frame kit for those guys, and they're $700 and they weigh 80 pounds. This thing has 2 poles. That one there I'm putting to the side is the front pole for your door, and then that one in front, the 4-section jobby, that puppy is your main pole. So instead of having a frame, big A-frame thing, which gives you more vertical walls, this has one pole and then one for the door, and that's basically it. So I kind of like that. So after opening the second box up, I got the bag, the little repair kit thingy, the ties, the big pole, and then my A-frame door pole. And now you're looking at the bag the tent came in. They just shipped it like that, which is kind of bummer. I mean, they just sent it, stuck with the little packing like that. You're looking at it as I got it. It would have been nice if they actually shrunk wrapped it up, so it would have protected the bag from getting down. I got some mud and dirt on already from shipping, but it's a bag for the tent. It looks like it's well made, so, and there's a little pocket on it with the instructions. That's what I just took out of there. So, we'll just unzip the bag. And this thing's, the weight of the tent is heavy. Shipping weight was 92 pounds for everything. So this gives you an idea. This is not a backpacking tent. As you can see, it's the size of me, and I'm a big fat bastard. So, it's not light. But again, depending on what model you buy, you can get lighter fabric, heavier fabric. I've got the heaviest floor they make and the heaviest fabric for the tent sides. So that's what I wanted for durability, reliability, to make it last. So that's what I bought. Figured, what the heck, Again, I'm just untying these pieces of spare fabric they give you just out of the factory. I'll go buy some, again, proper, strapping and fast-taking buckles to close it up and stuff. And the pouch on the side has the instructions on how to, set up and tear it down, which is kind of cool. Some good tips in it, too. Like, they talk about putting it away. When you put it away bone dry. That's to avoid mildew. I have anti-mildew coating on it, but, again, just put it away bone dry. So that second bag is just the tent itself and what came in it. So I got the tent pegs in a bag, the tent itself, the instructions, and then those pieces of cloth, and that's essentially it. So, again, what you see is what you get. So, there it is, the tent bag. Ultimate ProTech. The packing slip on the outside I haven't looked at yet. My instruction manual, the tent, and those little cheap ties. So that's what you got in that second pile. So we'll go from there. So, what's this? Oh, instructions on how to set it up. That might be good, but you don't need them. I'll show you here as we go through the walkthrough and how to set it up. It's not that tough. So, that tape you see right there is a measuring tape. That's a 16-foot tape. Why? Because the tent, they say, is 16 feet 4 inches. So it's not small. Basically, they're saying you get 210 square feet. So it's huge. So there's plenty of room. So 16-foot tape, just because that's what we have here. So I grabbed it, and we'll lay it out and you have a look. So I'm just going to let the video run the whole time, just so you can see real time. They said set up the tear down as one person is 15 minutes. That's about right. By the time you get it unpacked, it's fairly simple. The big challenge you're going to have in some parks is finding a 16-foot square hole to put it up in. So, and again, it's not like I've got 6 tents right now. Car camping tents, backpacking tents, biking tents, everything. This is a huge tent for camping in a car. Backpacking, biking, and stuff like that. But so to find a pad that's going to be 60 feet in Canada could be tough. Otherwise, this is in my backyard. So, again, field. What's that? Oh, a bag of pegs. Surprise, surprise. So, let's flip it open and you see. Again, this sucker is heavy because I got the extra heavy-duty flooring. It's the top-of-the-line floor they make. And it's the top-of-the-line canvas. So, upgraded from, I think, 285 canvas to 380, something like that. Then the floor, instead of being 320, is 500 grams per square meter. So, it's heavy-duty stuff. But, I bought it kind of at a commercial level just because I want it to last forever. And I abuse the heck out of my stuff, so, what the heck. The tent itself I got out of Europe. I bought it in euros and had it come out of Belgium, or bought everything out of there because it was cheaper than going to the US and getting the exchange stuff. So the tent itself was 700 euros. That funky little chandelier I got was 32 euros. The stove mat was 37 euros. 2 coat racks for 8 euros each. And the stove jack I got, which is the Exit 1, we made a mistake on that one. They shipped the Exit 1. I need the actual 45 one, which you'll see, but I'll show you later on. They're going to ship me that one for free, and I'll send it back the other one just to be nice. And then 120 euros for shipping, which is kind of weird, because I'm pretty sure the tent came out of the US. I'm not sure why it was 120 euros for shipping, but it worked out to be about 250 bucks cheaper buying it from Belgium on their site instead of going to the US site. Because I called the US guys and said how much. They said this much, so I said, okay. Did the math. So all in, everything that came so far, I paid 970 euros, and my Visa credit card that I got, finally my statement says here, I paid $1,483.10. So we're going to call this a $1,500 package, because that's what it cost me. So that's from them to my place in Calgary, Canada. So again, the poles I'll show you, the pegs I'll show you here in a second. They come, you get 2 sets of pegs, some light ones, and then some heavier duty ones. And again, this tent isn't the kind where you put the frame up, it's not self-supporting, so to set it up successfully, you're going to have to peg it out. Like, you know, it's ice or snow, c'est la vie, you got no choice. Because I can't see any decent way to erect the tent, but, you know, without putting down some pegs in the ground first. And if you only did like 4 or 6 around the sides, and then went from there and put it up, it's hard to say. Extra heavy-duty ropes and sliders and stuff like that, but, you know. I'm not sure how that's better than their regular ones. I may swap the rope up for some climbing cord to get some paracord in there to toughen it up. It's just your generic white cords. They're fairly thick and very, very heavy duty, but you know what the heck, and I'll shoot the camera. That's a 16-foot tape again. That's the size of the tent laid out. So that's, you know, 16 feet. If you don't believe me, I'll prove it. They actually say it's 16 feet 4 inches. So I mean, because they've got the once the tent's set up, you'll see that's got what's called a bathtub floor. Instead of being just a flat, you know, bottom, and then you have your seams, these actually curve up the sides, and it gives you basically a 4-inch wide seal of the extra heavy-duty rubber on the ground. So if you had a puddle or water or something like that, it should theoretically flow underneath your tent and not into the tent, because you got this bathtub floor. Just Google bathtub floor in a tent. It's something you want in most tents. You know, you go to your cheapy car camp tent from Canadian Tire, it's not going to have that, and water will get in your tent. This thing, I should go to camp literally in water. You know, 2 to 3 inches of water splashing around in my boots. By the time I step into that bathtub floor, water should not come into it. That's the theory. So here's the other bag that came with it. That's the bag, the instructions that came with it on the side there in the bag. And here's again, not a great bag, but who cares? It'll work for what I need. This has got to hold pegs. You get 2 kind of pegs. What we've got here is they actually send you 15 of each peg. So you got 15 thin ones, and then 15 little stick buggers. And the thin ones are what you actually put in the ground first. I'll show you that here in a bit in the video. And that's what holds the tent to the ground. Then those heavier duty ones are what you actually put on the ropes to peg out the tent and hold it up. That's your 60 mile per hour wind support. If you use those thin ones, you're kind of nuts, because they're going to rip all that crazy. And you don't need to. Those little pegs just kind of hold the tent in place. You put your center pole in, and then once your center pole's up, it'll step by itself because those thin pegs are in. And then as you put up your sidewalls with your ropes and stuff, the big pegs hold it up. I know, because that's the instructions, and I actually read the instruction manual. Call me kooky. So here's the bathtub floor. You can see it's got a 4-inch rise around it. So you waltz up, shove a little thin peg through the hole, pull it so it's fairly snug, and drive it home. I have enough weight to push a planet together, so I just use my foot. So I mean, they're fairly strong. Looks like they're pretty well made seams. Like it's nothing that's going to go anywhere. So I'll just back up and do another one. And you have 13 of these holes you got to put in the ground. So it's 13 all the way around. And just pull them so they're fairly snug, and shove them in. And you do that all the way around the whole tent. I'm not going to show you until after I get it done, because there's no point. But this is what that looks like. It's welded to the actual bottom half, and it's thick, heavy-duty flooring. Like it's the toughest floor I've seen in the tent. And I've got some fairly upscale tents. So I mean, this thing, a ground sheet, I wouldn't worry. I don't think. I mean, short of burning a hole. I mean, you cut it, you have to patch it, but a ground sheet would install that anyway. This thing's some heavy-duty. I hope those welding seams hold after a few years of use. I'd look after my stuff. I got tents and sleeping bags that are 25 years old, and they're good so far because I look after my stuff. So pull it snug, shove it in. And again, without putting these guys in first, I don't know how you'd actually get the tent up, because it seems like it'd be tough to try and put up without putting down the pegs first to hold it in shape. I just can't see how you'd do it. Maybe the Canvas Camp guys have an idea, but I'd be like, flummoxed. But anyway, walk up and stroll around. The door you're missing one peg at the door. There isn't one. As you waltz around the tent and get dizzy and throw up, you'll see there's nothing at the front door, like for a peg hole. You walk around the tent, and they're all there. There's 13 of them. So you get 13 of those small pegs. And again, ice, snow, good luck. You're not going to get any holding power, but, in snow, maybe. They're just generic. They're fairly stiff wire pegs. They're not great, not bad. The heavy duty ones they gave you are nice pegs. They're not going to go away. You can pound those in with a hammer. These guys are just your standard little, crappy wire pegs. But short again, I can't see how else you get it up unless you pegged it out first, because it's not that kind of tent. There's no frame to set up. It's one pole instead of hauling around those wood square frame tents. Now your sides on this thing are only 2 feet high as opposed to your 4 or 6 foot high sidewalls on a woods or backpacking tent. But I don't want to lug around a frame that's not going to fit in my car that weighs 80 pounds for the steel frame with a wood frame or whatever you want to get. This has one pole. I like that better. I mean, it's rated to 60 miles per hour, so I'm not going to complain. So I mean, once you get the pegs pegged out, set up your pole and put it in. They say the tent is 9 feet 8 inches high, but as you'll see here in a second, I got 10 feet out of that pole, so I'm not quite sure where they get that from. And because I bought the upgraded tent, I've got the outside canvas itself, which is the heavy duty canvas. I've also got the pre-sewn and fixed in there wire mesh door. The lower models don't have that mesh all the way around or inside. I figured, I'm going to go for it. So I wanted, again, because I bought this, the one right below the top, which is the next thing higher is a coating. And I figured, what the hell? When I stick the tape on there, I got 10 feet. So that's with the suction cups and stuff on there too, and your bracing to hold it. Well, I measured it. As you will see, I get 10 feet. So it's 10 foot high tent. So 10 feet high, 16 feet across. So that's it. So we'll go ahead and zip it shut. So yes, it is. I'm out of frame because I'm an idiot and didn't look at my camera. But anyway, there it is. So now let's go inside the tent. And we'll go ahead and see if we can get that pole in there. There's a welded ring on there halfway up. I'm not sure what that's for. But I've got it set up where the sleeves are stacked into the... I'm not sure there's an up or down on the pole because it's the first time I had the tent out and set up. But I just put the ring that's on there up towards the top. For what purpose, I don't know. And then I have the poles butting in so that they're coming into the top down. And you just basically shove it in the top. There's a reinforced top on the tent where the panels all meet up. There's 14 panels in the tent. And stick your pole in. Again, this is where if you didn't have something anchored to the ground, I don't know how you get it to stay up. I think you have to put at least 4 pegs in somewhere to get it, get the pole in. At this point, it's up, and then you just have to basically put your sidewalls out, and away you go. So that's where you use your extra heavy-duty pegs. Again, this is the first time, brand new to me out of the box, so you're seeing it as I'm seeing it now. There's some vent holes up on top. They're sewn. They're permanently in the tent. There's no mesh in there, but that's okay. At least I don't think there is. I haven't looked yet. So I'll back a bit to get a better view, panoramic, so to speak, and we'll keep going. So the next thing I need are the heavy-duty pegs that come with it. So I'm going to grab those pegs and go crazy. So then I grabbed this other set of poles, which is the A-frame door. So I got to walk in there and put that up first. They say you don't have to, but to me it makes more sense to put the A-frame door in before you put the pegs out. So I mean, I just said, what the hell? I'm walking in. Inside the tent, as you'll see later on, there's 2 little pockets in the floor, like the webbing loops that actually hold the poles in. And there's actually ties, so you can actually tie the poles into the little pockets. There's ties everywhere in this thing, so it seems pretty good that way. I haven't looked that close yet. I'm going to sleep in it tonight, the day after I set it up, just to try it, because the weekend's coming up, so what the heck. And again, the A-frame thing, you just shove the pole in. That's your front door support pole. So there's 2 poles, one for the main tent, one to hold the door open. There's a little rain cap that I didn't actually pull out to put on top, but I'll show it later as an accessory. You can see it too as well. And you put the poles in the pockets, and you're essentially done. And they say setup's 15 minutes, and yeah, they can't be far off. I took longer as I'm videotaping it all to show you guys, but shove your poles in the pockets, tie them down if you want to. I tied them, so they're... The pole for the door is in there. It's tied to the pocket, so it can't move around. And again, this is the first time out of the box for me I've ever set it up, ever looked at it, so it's kind of like, okay. So it's all new to me too, so you're seeing what I'm seeing, so this is as good as it gets. So you're looking at 10 feet high and 16 feet across. So okay, pretty big. And the way to do it is just to grab the pole. I mean, you got your ropes tied on there permanently, they're not coming off, so just shove them in. I mean, don't tension it up yet. Just put them out and pull out your sides. I mean, in grass, again, those pegs are going to go in tickety-boo In something else like snow or ice or rock or something, you got to drive them home because they're not going to go in as easily as on a grass surface. Same with some of the car camp pads they have in some Canada parks. You're going to need a hammer because they're not going to go in otherwise. It's just, some of the ground we have around here is rather rugged. And same for ice camping or snow. The bottom of my tent unzips completely, so you'd have to actually put the tent up with the bottom on it. But again, it'd be a real pain not to have some pegs out before you went and put it up. I just can't see how you'd do it. It'd be a real pain. At least 4 to get the tent up, then you can put your pole in, then start pegging it out. But I don't know. It'd be weird. So you're seeing what I'm seeing. First time I had it, so I'm just doing the opposite side of where the first rope was. Just because, it seems like the thing to do. As opposed to go around from one at a side. Your mileage may vary, put it up however you want, but I'm just going to, do opposite sides and go from there. And again, just, that's, as you see, as I get it more pegged out, you see the 2-foot sides on the bottom come up. So when you're inside the tent, you got the sloping wall over you. But again, that's not, I don't think that's an issue. A wall tent, the nice fact is you got 4-foot sides, so tenting sitting beside it, you get more area that way. But I mean, this thing can sit, 18 people comfortably, this thing with chairs. I mean, it's just massive inside. I'm going to show you later on sleeping bags and cots and chairs and tables in various configurations and the stove so you can see how big it is. There's a guy out there called TP Diaries. He bought a tent. He's living in it right now in Sweden, but he bought a small tent. He is cramped. Like, I wouldn't want to stay in it for a year. It's tight. This thing, I mean, you save wood heating your tent up, but talk about snug for space. He's got his dog with him and stuff. It's just, go watch it. It's called TP Diaries. Google it. It's actually pretty cool. It's on YouTube, and he's got 12 episodes. I'm not doing 12 episodes because he's way more ambitious than I am. So this is a little bit larger than just a teepee. And again, because, I've got these pegs you rope out, and that's what holds it up, and it gives your wind protection. You've got 2-foot sidewalls, whereas his teepee has no sidewalls. It's just got that slope as a teepee top to bottom. This, I think, is more practical. It comes with 4 windows in it, and again, because I bought the model I did, there's permanent mesh sewn in the 4 windows, so you can leave the canvas sides on it, and I'll show you, once it's set up, you'll see the windows. I'm not opening them yet or anything. I'll do that in another video. Then the inside has an entire ring of mesh all the way around. So if you see these guys set up in Arab countries or really, really hot climates like Caribbeans or glamping in overseas and the Dutch West Indies or someplace warm, you actually take the canvas sides down, and the whole bottom of it, instead of being solid canvas, would be this vented mesh. So again, for blow-through drafts and winds, that would be nice. And one thing about having these pegs when you go out, you're going to want to peg them out with lots of rope, just because that pulls up your sidewall and gives you that vertical sidewall that you're going to want to have. So, I mean, tents or trees, like I'm going to go up to the top of my fence here. So instead of having the ropes come down at an angle, I'm actually having them pull up so the wall will be more vertical. Again, depending how you set up out in the woods. With these ropes, I've got, I'll peg it out to wherever I have to. I'll use trees as opposed to pegs, just because they're a lot more solid and easier to do. And I don't camp out in prairie, bare, bald-ass fields. I go out in the woods, so even the campsites around, I'll be able to find places to put up my ropes and put them up to trees as opposed to going to the ground. But otherwise, you're going to want to have, with the ropes out, at least, 25, 30 feet around of space to get these sidewalls out. But I should see if they come up fairly easily. You just peg them out and keep going. It'll go up. So there's 14 panels in the tent all the way around. So there's 14 rope points. So you got 13 on the small ones, and then that front center one for your pull for your door is the 14th. And you get 15 pegs of the small and 15 pegs of large, so you get a couple, looks like a spare of 1 and 2 spares of the little guys. There you see, that's my sidewalls there. So you got 2-foot sidewalls with those windows, and that's it. But again, I like having one pole instead of a whole frame, so I figured, what the heck. And again, whether you go to a fence or to a tree or whatever, get her pegged out. As you can see, I'm not in any hurry either because this is the first time I set it up, so I'm just kind of looking at the tent, admiring it, playing with the ropes, looking at the cords and the quality. As you'll see, I'll show you some stitching videos in here and stuff. Like, again, it's well made. There's no Chinese manufacturing quality here. It's really well, double seams, nice welded. Well, the stitching looks really, really good, so I can't complain. It looks like they did a really good job of it, so I'm not going to argue. And then as at the bottom, because again, where it connects here, the door is, that's where you can actually unzip the entire floor off the tent. So I got to spend a few minutes here bashing away that because it came a bit undone. But that's where you actually, if you want to unzip the entire floor, like see right now, once it's up, you know, you got the ropes out and the center poles in. I can literally unzip, go around the whole bottom of the tent, unzip that whole floor, and yank it out. Because the center pole's up and you got some ropes on the side to hold it open, you could basically have a floorless tent. So again, for winter camping, if you're on snow or want to ice fish or something like that, you could do that. But again, it would be challenging to get it up, especially on a, you know, without having some ropes out somewhere to hold up the first center pole. So, you know, But I mean, if you want to pull the floor off in this model, you can. Likewise, I can change the sidewalls from being the solid canvas ones you'll see to a full mesh door, or full mesh walls all the way around, or just my 4 windows. So, you know, no complaints. I like it. I'm going to sleep in it, say I'll give you a report. I'm going to show you videos later on of the size, because all the videos I show, they say, here's the tent, which I'm doing now, here's the tent. So you can watch 8 videos on how to set it up. Big whoop. You don't need 8 videos on how to set it up. But I'm going to show you the inside and the space inside. The videos, if you look on their site and go to the forums, it shows you pictures in the gallery. You can actually fit 2 queen beds in this thing and a twin bed. So that gives you an idea of the space inside this thing. 210 square meters. It's big. I'll just show you some sleeping bags on and off camp mats, and I'll show you a couple of, you know, like sleeping bags on cots, and then a table or a camp kitchen, and the stove, and yada yada. So you get an idea of, you know, what you're seeing. Because that's why I said I could have bought a 2 meter. A 3 meter, 4 meter, 5 meter, or 6 meter. This is the 5. So it's, you know, basically 500 centimeters across, or 5 meters, or 16 feet. The smaller one, I went, nah, because you got to allow space for those walls drooping down, because you got those 45-degree angles on the walls. So I wanted a little bit bigger for standing up room in it. So if you had, you know, 6 people or 7 people in here drinking beers, you could all stand up or sit down on your chairs, and it wouldn't be an issue. The 4 meter would be a little smaller. 6 is massive. I don't know where you'd find a spot to put it up. Like you'd need a small planet. But once you get it all pegged out, I'll walk you around and tension it up after this. I'll show you here in the next cut that, you know, I waltzed around, tensioned it up, and it seems to be happy. And I put the chandelier and stuff in later on. I'll show you that stuff afterwards too, once I go through the interior and usability of the tent as opposed to just a setup video. But yeah, it's big. And it's going to be warm. Once I get my tent put in, or get the stove put in, the tent stove check, and it's going to be awesome. So, there's the ropes, extra heavy duty. They're, you know, that's upgraded again from what they say. And there's the Canvas Camp logo. Very pretty. And as you see, that's the bathtub floor. So if I want to take that floor off, it unzips from right there, and then you'd have no floor in the tent. So how do you keep the tent attached down to the ground? You know, once you unzip that floor, if you took the floor off, those white loops loop down through each of those skinny pegs. So that would come out, the bottom one there, and that white loop would go through those wire pegs. And that's what would hold the tent in place. So I think you'd be almost better off putting it up with the floor in, then removing the floor on your own time. And as you can see, the stitching quality looks great. Now, you'll see the inside walls, but I'll show you the option to change the walls over. There's lots of woggles and stuff for rolling up the walls and sides and stuff. I haven't figured out all of them all. There's multifaceted loops inside it that I can't figure out what ties what up or down. I'll have to call Canvas Camp and say, how the hell does this thing go together? But again, if you're going to peg it out, see how it's more upright with the tree there as opposed to going down the ground. So, again, you know, there's your 2-foot high walls. These pegs go to the ground, and that last one there goes up to the side of the house. So again, it just seems to be a better fit, the way to hold it on. Again, I consider probably undoing those. So I was walking around the door, I'd probably just undo those and let them flop over. And here's the inside. It's big. And again, your sidewall slope down, so you got to allow for your walking room. There's some bits from it being brand new out of the box, as you saw, so I haven't cleaned it up yet, but that's okay. The next videos I'll get some stuff inside it and show you the chandelier, the usability, and what actually fits in it, because setup's a breeze. It's what can you fit in this sucker? And to me, it looks like a lot, so we'll go from there. And in the next video I'll do here in a few days and edit it up, and you'll see what it looks like. Other than that, thanks for watching. And we'll get some more videos going here once I get motivated, after I get it all cleaned up and get it all pretty. So thanks for looking at it. We'll talk to you guys later.